Alright, and we're going to do some baking with the time tunnel. And now we're going to make something that I really enjoy, and it's probably one of my favorite cakes ever. It's one my granny used to make me, and it's one she taught me how to make. I'm going to use the Jello mix here. Need at least 3 eggs for that, and some Jello. Yes, we are going to make a Jello poke cake, at least the way my granny showed me how to make it, which is a little different than everybody else's. Usually you'll see people do this tunneling hole thing. You'll see to spread out the color, but we'll see. I'll show you how I was taught how to do it, and the way I think it makes the moistest cake you'll probably ever have. Make the super moist seem like a joke. Well, let's get into it. Got my granny's old Watt mixing bowl out. That's a classic. That thing has made more pancakes and cakes and such than I could ever imagine. I think she had that thing since the 50s or 40s. Go, try not to make a mess. Okay, we got our, try to make us a spot, huh? For all the eggs and oils and such. Like it'll matter, but yeah, you know, that's the thing to do, right? Does make it a little easier on the mixing process. Okay, here's one. Nope, got one little piece right here. Caught him. Make sure that's not one. It's not. Looks like just a piece of the cake. Now I'll have to get my. You have to put a vegetable oil in it, or some kind of a veggie oil. I just melted down some margarine. Takes about 1/3 of a cup. So there we go. Now let's get them mixing. What a mess, huh? Wonder why it's a little thick. Forgot the 1 cup of water almost. Now there we go. That'll make life a little easier. Hopefully I didn't screw it up, huh? I don't think even I can screw this up. This is a very simple, delicious cake. Like I said, I consider it one of the moistest, best things you can have. So let's get serious with some mixing here. Do some fast editing, huh? Alright, and make sure you have a pan all greased up. I just about forgot. So I had to quickly rub some margarine in there. Use Pam or whatever you want for non-stick. I'm doing it just like my granny used to, which I think makes it taste delicious, of course. And I'm going to take it down to, maybe, I think the captain's around today, so maybe we'll take it down. And I don't think the captain's ever had my Jello poke cake, so maybe we'll take it down there and see what he thinks. See if it's as good as I say it is, huh? Captain won't pull no. If he hates it, he'll tell me. He'll say yuck. So it ain't like he'll be nice to me about it. Let's see if I still got some of that concrete skills. Get that mud out. I'm definitely no baker, so don't expect precision here. But as long as I get it nice and somewhat flat, I guess somewhat, that'll be great for me. I know they always rise up anyways a bit. Especially in the middle, right? So try to get a lot of that work to the outside there. The corners. Exciting stuff, I know. Watching me trying to get a cake at least somewhat flat, huh? Well, I let it sit there and settle. Should be okay. Alright. What you think, folks? Use my cleaning rag here. Well, we'll get this in the oven. We'll see what happens. Now, as for Jello prep, use a couple ice cubes here to get it to quick cool down a bit. I only use about, that's only about only about 2 cups. Usually the rest of people say about 4 cups, or 2 cups and then 2 cups of cold. I'm using about 1.5 cups and maybe half a cup of cold, so maybe 2 cups of water altogether to try to get it to cool down a bit. And then we'll ladle it in. Alright, now you'll see a lot of people online use these deals to dig out perfect holes and get perfect lines through their cakes. Now, it does make a prettier cake, but I don't think it makes a moister cake. Now, I think my granny's way she did it made a moister cake, which is more simpler and easy to make, and it makes a wonderful cake. So just use a fork. You get more holes. Way more holes. And go crazy. More holes the better for me. It just makes the cake that much more moister because it traps more of the Jello in it. Because if you make big holes, all the Jello just basically runs to the bottom of the cake. I've seen that mistake a few times. Sorry, if I offend any other cake makers out there with that. But I like to poke the heck out of it. So you can see. Alright. Now the Jello, I leave it a little condensed. So it's only about 2 cups, like I said. Or 1.5 cups and a half a cup, or a few ice cubes. So basically a 1/2 cup of water almost. And we're going to ladle it over instead of just pouring it in. Yes. Nice gentle procedure. Because if you just go too crazy, it just all runs in the middle. Of course, I didn't get a perfect flat top here, that's for dang sure. I didn't expect it either. It's alright, this cake ain't about perfection. And I got plenty of Jello to go around to make sure everything gets well coated. Oops, there I go bumping. Alright. Now, throw this fine thing in the refrigerator, and it's going to have to sit for about, probably about 2 to 3 hours probably. I know Jello takes about 4 hours to settle up, but it'll settle up quicker in this. I'd say 2 hours probably. We'll get back with you in 2 hours. Okay, out of the fridge, and you can see no matter how many holes I poke in there, pretty solid. That Jello really sets up really good all the way through the cake. So that's why I like to put a lot of holes, because it sets up really well. Now, it might not be as pretty as some of the people who just drill the holes if you're just looking for continuity in lines. But I think this is a moister cake than those ones. I've made that style before. I just poked. And I didn't like it as much as Granny's old fork style. Just to be honest with you. So, just got some whipped top in here. Put a full deal of whipped topping on it. I don't like the buttercream or whatever. You can use whatever topping you feel like would complement. Basically, when you put the whipped cream on it, though, it's like almost making a, it's hard to explain. strawberry shortcake, kind of, in a way, especially if the strawberry style like this. I have made this exact one in blueberry and a combination double stack. I'll see if I find a picture to it. I'll post it if I do right on this video. And it was pretty good. I would say blueberry, raspberry, and strawberry are some of the better ones. Cherry I found got kind of lost in the cake. Even if I concentrated it, it just got lost in the sweetness, I guess. I think if you added some real cherry to it on the top, it probably would do pretty good. So, alright. Not looking for perfection, just a good coverage. Swirly. Just for the camera, huh? There we go. Hopefully, it turns out really good on the inside. We'll see. It's nice and heavy. Real cheap cake to make. Really, the ingredients, just some Jello, some cheap cake mix, and some whipped cream, and you're ready to go. It's probably the moistest cake you'll probably get. I'd put it up against red velvet or anything any day of the week. At least, that's my opinion. Let's try it out. Alright, I do got to take some of this down to the captain and some to my stepmom. Let her try. So, I might as well go right in the middle. Because I'm going to have to be sending some home. Let's hope it lifts, huh? Oh yeah, feels good. Feel like it stuck it on. Okay. There we go. We got a good lift there. Look at that. Okay, now look at that. Nice stripe edge. Definitely very full. Now it's time to dig in. Let's get into that. I'm gonna have to take a slice around to a few people.
You poured Jello down in it, didn't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
But we call them a Jello poke cake because it's just poked with a fork. My version.
I don't know how they poke the hole.
Yeah, some people just do a hole kind of thing, and this is a little different. This is more the, I guess, Missouri version. Okay, there you go. My grandma showed me how to make this stuff. Probably about the moistest cake you'll ever have.
Well, that's the problem with cake, is it's usually not moist.
Yeah, but I love this. It's almost like...
Even Mom's crazy cake, I just put it in a bowl and pour about a half inch of milk in the bottom of it. Let it just soak in.
Because it's too dry. Where this is like...
yeah.
I would say this is more like...
It's been a long time since I had a funnel cake now.
That's like strawberry shortcake. You know?
Yeah. Better than this. Well, I asked people for years, what's that cake with the Jello in it?
Yeah, we call them
Jello, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you look them up, they call poke cakes usually. Jello poke cake. That's the official name. I've looked that up. At least.
You can view it right there.
Yeah, that's done with a fork. I'm doing a whole video on how I make it. Exactly. They're very easy, very affordable, and I think they're the best cake you can make.
How much Jello do you make with a box of Jello? Has it got 3 or 4 packs in it?
No, 1 pack. And I barely use any water for it. You'll say I actually make the whole video on how I did this cake.
You don't even add any sugar to the Jello, do you?
No.
Just pour the mixture right in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, nothing added. The only thing is that's Cool Whip. I use Cool Whip because I don't like buttercream or whipped cream. You know.
Cool Whip's better for me than just straight up frosting.
Yeah, that frosting
sweet.
It's really sugar. You know, where that's not.
It is sweet.
Yeah, you don't have to eat that whole thing. I know it's hard to stop.
Well, I haven't had dinner yet. I take lunch around 11 o'clock.
And here we are. my fine Jello poke cake. Well, so far it was a hit with just about everybody I took it around to. And it should be. I made it. Look at the arrogance. But, no, it's an old family recipe. Really loved it. Jello poke cakes are great. And, well, of course, a lot of people make them. They're very moist. About the moistest cake you can get. And that's why I'm not usually a cake fan. I hate a dry cake. These are not dry. Look at them lines. Did with a fork. Not the tunneling process that some people use. Much better way of keeping all your Jello inside your cake. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Look at that. Sometimes it puts red velvet to shame, I think.